USD CAD, it's gonna be here. Let's take a look. Hold on. Ooh, yeah. Someone just texted me. So we have a big AUD news. I'm gonna have to take a look at that. But I believe it will be bullish for AUD. So 1 second. Okay, so sorry about that. USD CAD. Let me just. Uh, yes, Daniel or Dino. Sorry if I don't pronounce that right, because Dariel is next. So we have 2 requests for USD CHF. So definitely we will. And we will check AUD USD also, Frederick. Let me just double check this. So we have that. Okay, there's definitely resistance. And there's definitely support. Okay, perfect. So we just need to label this. Yep. All right. USD CAD went up. All right. So let's go on a 4-hour. USD CAD was Frederick. So Frederick, I definitely see USD CAD completing this push to the daily resistance at 1.33523. However, I wouldn't be surprised if we get some retrace here, right, or pullback, however you like to refer to it. I don't think it will just go straight up there. I think we're gonna get a pullback and then push up to test that resistance. And if you look on it on intraday, our support, actually our support is here on intraday level, right? So we might not even get that big of a retrace. We might just get that and push back up. So even, let me just measure that. So from here to there. Perfect. Look at that. Look at that confluence. So that would be 50 on fibs. So I would look for this retrace or pullback, like I said, and look to buy again 1.32680. So I would be looking to buy there if you miss those buys. It's a support, 50% retrace from this impulsive leg. And yeah, you should be good to buy it for 86 pips from there. Or scenario number 2, I would put buy stop above this level here. So maybe at 1.33100. In that case, you only get like 42 pips, but you're gonna catch that momentum. So buy limit here or buy stop just slightly above that last 4 hour bullish wick. So USD CAD will eventually complete this push to the upside to 1.33500. Okay, USD CHF and AUD CHF, got it. Still holding both. Here we go on the daily. So I posted this chart in the price action group. Obviously, clear reason, multiple reasons for me to hold this for a longer term. Number one, first one and very obvious, we have triple bottom, right? So one of the bullish pattern reversals. Number two, daily demand zone. This area right here that I kind of boxed out. Number three, tested daily trend line and rejected off of it. And I believe we are going to see recovery on this because CHF across the pairs needs a just big reversal. It's due to a big reversal. It's been very bullish, so it's time to balance the market. So once again, triple bottom, demand zone, rejected the daily uptrend, this trend line, and we have a daily support as well that's been held there. So holding those buys. And if you're not in it, now you can enter because it's pretty much back at the entry. Well, we are 1.5 pip in profit on this one. VD, we just covered USD CAD. Yeah, we just covered it literally. What is that one down as? What do you mean, Dariel? What do you mean, what is that one down as? Frederick TP for USD CHF is 300 pips. Oh, this one is USD CHF, so Swiss franc. It says right here in the corner. I don't know if you're not able to see it right here. It says with the white letters. Okay, cool. So that was USD CHF and AUD CHF. Hold on, AUD CHF. Yep, right there. All right. So we are looking this on the daily, but I posted this on the weekly. So let me go back on the weekly once again. So the reason I don't consider this breakout is because this weekly candle is like the support that it's trying to breach. It's like in the middle of it, right? So unless the current weekly closes below, I'm not closing these buys. So I'm holding buys on this, and we're seeing a rejection already, right? Because it is in this demand zone right here. And if AUD news that we have in about 2 hours and 10 minutes, if those news come out bullish for AUD as I expect them to, this will definitely start recovering big time. It's gonna start recovering big time. So I'm holding this still. If I see anything concerning and that I would, that would make me wanna close it and prevent further drawdown, I will guys let you know. but there's many reasons why I'm holding this. First of all, this is new current historical low for this pair, so it's never been this low. Number two, it's in a big demand zone, so the buyers will definitely gain interest. Uh, and I'm definitely targeting back to 68,550. So if you are not in this trade, it's time to get in. And I would put, if you enter this trade, I would put stop loss at 0.64. So that's about 6 pips, but you are going for 392 or 390. And I just want to give you a heads up because people ask me a lot about, AUDs. To swing trade them, you have to be patient because they don't move like GBPs. They don't move 200-300 pips in a day. It takes few weeks for them. I mean, you see this, let's say from here, how big of a drop this was. So this was 344 pips, let's say, drop. But it took how long? It took 19 trading days, right? So that is almost 4 weeks. So just giving you heads up, this is something you have to be patient with, but I still see it as a valid buy and a good opportunity to hold as a reversal. So that was that. AUD USD. All right, Frederick, AUD USD. All right, let's see what we got here. All right, well, perfect time to buy this. Look at that, we had a markup that it will enter this demand zone. And I'm glad actually it came into the demand zone. And look at this. Downtrend, break, and retest into the demand zone. Perfect setup. So I'm actually going to call this one. So thank you for reminding me, because this is low risk, high reward. So let's calculate this. So we are right there. Risk would be, let's say, 40 pips. And TP 240. Okay, so 1 to 6 risk reward. So this I'm gonna pretty sure this I'm gonna call for a buy as soon as we get through the all pairs. So this, I mean, this is, we are on the daily, right? So as you see, this was a downtrend. We had a break, came up to the weekly resistance, fell back down to retest this trend line and back into the demand zone and the weekly support. So multiple confirmations for to take this buy with a low risk of 40 pips and target of 240. So 1 to 6 risk reward if you are entering. TP for AUD USD would be 0.69300. 0.69300. And stop loss 0.66, 0.66, 460. And So I just want to say sorry, guys. I know you requested pay earlier and you're trying to add on, but I'm just going as in order and sequence as it's in the chat, just to be respectful to everybody. And I will check all of them that you requested. So after AUD/USD, we checked USD CHF, uh, Hans wanted USD JPY. Okay, USD JPY. Here we go. Let's just see if this is still up to date. Okay. 4 hour. Yep. All right. So everything looks good. So we had a big drop here. So most likely is just clear to see. I would expect this to complete at least retest of this 4 hour intraday support. As you see, it's been testing a few times. And from there, I think we're gonna go back bullish because I'm anticipating strength in USD. So anywhere in this area here, so I do expect it to fall another, what is that, 65 to 90 pips, right? Whether we get a little more pullback and then drop, or it just starts dropping from here, I do expect to see more of a drop. Let's just measure this. Yeah, we rejected 61.8. So it could be actually going down any moment. So this is what I'm expecting on USD JPY. One more leg down and then possible buy back up for 200 pips. Hans or Hans. I'm sorry if I don't pronounce it right. You can unmute yourself and correct me. So definitely feel free to do that. But yeah, I wouldn't be, if you're looking for a buy, I wouldn't be buying it yet because, like I said, it can fall another 65 to 90 pips before it's actually in a strong buy zone. So that is USD JPY. After that, we did USD CAD, so AUD CAD and oil. AUD CAD. Dr. Kyle, I'm not entering UJ yet. If whatever I enter, I'm gonna share right here, guys. This is the group K2 price action alerts. So whatever I enter, it's gonna be shared here, 100%. So you don't have to worry. That's where I put everything. So if I do enter anything, which AUD USD looks like we're gonna be buying towards the end of the session. Oh, you don't need to apologize. You're fine. But I just wanted to show you to make sure you know where I share all of the trades. Okay, AUD CAD. So similar to USD CHF, right? Big demand zone here on the weekly. Let me just double check this. So this is now daily resistance. Yeah, I mean, this is also a good. Uh, I'm still gonna keep this weekly support 100% just because look at this daily, which is previous days. Look at this, how bullish reversal is happening. So it's on all AUD XXX pairs because they are due to reversal. So you may not have seen it on AUD CHF just yet, but see this big bullish engulfing candle. So I do expect news to push this further upside. AUD CAD uh, probably won't push it like all the way to this, but like I do expect this to rise another 100 pips, and it's not sure how it's gonna make its way up there. Might take few days, but I'm pretty sure that will happen because all it did, it came back and made this equal low, like historical low for this pair as well, and demand zone, and from there it already reversed 46 pips. So I do expect this to continue back up AUD CAD. We did AUD CHF too. We did, but I'll go back to it. I just have to be respectful and go in order. So if you bear with me, we will redo it again. US oil next. Okay, hold on. Oh, here we go. US oil. All right, so oil broke down because there's a large supply, and therefore the prices went down. But look at this beautiful demand zone. Actually, this is a good time to buy oil if you are trading oil. I know it looks scary bearish, but this is a daily demand zone where I'm sure a lot of people will become a lot of interested in buying, and we already see some buying pressure here or rejection to the further downside. So if I was to trade this, I would buy, and my stop loss would be 49.25, and I will target 53. So good risk to reward. That's what I would do, like I said. But I'm gonna think if I'm gonna enter this. So, like I said, once again, everything I enter it will be shared in K2 price action uh, group. But this is, I do definitely expect um, some nice bullish run from this zone because it's a strong daily demand zone. And personally, if we see that, price of oil should go back to 53. And once again, if you decide to enter this, stop loss should be 49.25. That was question by VD. Okay, so yeah, oil. What is next? AUD JPY. Frederick requested AUD JPY. Do I have it here? Yep, right there. Alright, I haven't updated this chart, so I'm glad you asked. Alright, so this is weekly resistance. Now, So let's take a look on the weekly. Whew, this is wild. All right. So this seems that it's headed back down this way. Damn, this is wild. Now this is definitely still bearish. I did say I expect reversal across AUD pairs, but seems that the JPY is much stronger against AUD at the moment in all conditions. As you see, broke this uptrend without even retesting it, so it just straight downfall. It broke the weekly support and it actually did test at that as a resistance. So going back to what we were speaking about AUD, um, if we see the bullish report in 2 hours, this could give possible run back to this resistance to be retested for about, well, that's a nice chunk, 132 pips. Let's just see if we can find the daily support here prior to this demand zone. Um, okay. Not the best one, but it does seem like it. Yeah, retest, retest. Okay, so so this is what I'll tell you. Unless the news are good for AUD, this support is not going to hold at 72,329. And if that doesn't hold, this pair is going to drop another 150 pips. Like that's just very clear, because it will have to come back to this weekly demand zone. There won't be interest in the market of buying it prior to falling back down all the way. Uh, and like I said one more time, unless we get the bullish report or good for AUD, as you see here, if the actual comes green or as forecasted, that should be good for AUD, and therefore, we should see this come back up to, retest this zone. But I don't. Uh, I don't favor this particular AUD just because JPY seems to be much stronger against it at the moment. So if you want to trade it, it's up to you. But it looks pretty bearish. Like this one look like you know they pretty much need to increase interest rate for this to start recovering. So we'll see what happens in 2 hours. But if it breaks 72.330, this will fall another 120 pips, no doubt, because there's nothing in the way to prevent that. So that's AUDJPY. What was next? GJ. Good time to buy on GJ. Well, let's take a look. Once again, guys, I'm going in order. Yeah, you see how JPY is just strong across the market. All right, let's see this on the weekly. All right, we are breaching this weekly uptrend. We are breaking weekly uptrend. Okay. Uh, let's just clear this up. Okay. So I can already answer your question. No, it's not a good time to buy GJ. Definitely not good time to buy GJ. It's just massive bearish. Um, no, because well, this is on a daily, just to correct it. But on the weekly, it's closer. So let me just see one more time on the weekly. Yeah, that is weekly support. Yep, that is weekly support right there. Well, if we decide to incorporate this week, then this is still an uptrend. Um, but I go off of the body, and even though still not the time to buy it, and this is why back on the daily. So on this pair, I expect another 170 pip drop, VD. So I expect another 170 pip drop on GJ before looking at the buy. Yeah, we can make a statement maybe. Let's see. Daily support. Not really. Okay, let's say that this was something we want to use and work with. Yeah, there's a break retest, rejection, rejection. Not the best one, but let's say we use this as a support, which is 147.87. And still with that, you know, it's not done dropping yet. I would maybe use this for intraday. So in the London, if you see rejection here from this level, then maybe you can buy retrace, right? For let's see from here, could be 100 plus pip retrace, but I do not see reversal until we get here, until we get to the weekly support actually, and this strong consolidation zone. And then from here, maybe we can see move like that. So short-term bullish and still seeing another drop, same as GA and GN. So another 40 pip fall, and then maybe buy for the retrace if you see it rejecting 147.87. And once that retrace gets exhausted, I would sell it back to this weekly support and the trend line. And okay, so we have AUDCHF again, and then US 30. Sure thing. So let's go again at AUDCHF because our friend was late, and I'm gonna make sure we cover it. Okay, so pretty much what I said about the AUD is looking at it on the weekly again. Yeah, this is massive bearish candlestick, right? But it's the body of this candle, it's in the middle of the weekly support. So this does not conclude breakout, right? We need to see this current weekly close underneath. So 1 second. Sorry, somebody is just blowing my phone. Sorry about that. So to conclude on the weekly, so unless this current weekly closes below this weekly support, I won't consider this as a breakout, right? That's number one. Number two, it's in the weekly demand zone, right? So there are going to be a lot of people scaling into buy, most likely, especially if the AUD news come positive tonight. You will see a lot of orders coming in the market as a buy across AUD, not just this particular one that, set another historical low for this pair just recently on Friday. Yep. And now on the daily, you see that it's rejecting, right? We have the bullish candlestick right there that just closed today at 5 p.m. So I would like to see some positive news out of Australia for this to continue recovery back to the upside. So for that reason, I'm still holding those buys, and I still see it recovering and coming back up. And next, US 30. Let's take a look. Here we go. Let me just see if I need to update this again. No, still uptrend. Tested weekly support. Alright, so this seems like an easy one. This was requested by Angie. Sorry if I don't pronounce that right. ANGE. So US 30 rejected the daily resistance, made a double top, and then it fell back to this weekly support. As you see, was perfectly rejected. So right now it's in this zone between 28,173 and 28,925. It's still heavy uptrend on both on the weekly and the daily, so I would personally just look for the buys, right?
I just cooked that today, Okay.
So I would just look for the buys on here. Maybe put the buy stop at 28,520. Once the momentum kicks in tomorrow, if you want to catch that back to this resistance. And also, I'm not sure if you are in this group right here, K2 indices. We have our friend Wade. He's an expert for indices, so he shares every day updates. He also shares with you guys stocks as well as the crypto. So I would definitely pay attention to what he has to say as well. But most of the time we see the same thing. So I would expect this to start making its way back up on US 30. Okay. And I believe that is all. So hope I didn't miss anything. I try to go in order. If I missed any pair, please type in now so we can go back and check it. Gold. Hey, what's going on, Dion? Let's take a look. Gold, actually, I'm still holding sells from, I guess, 2 weeks ago, something like that. You good. That's awesome. Happy to hear that. The reason being, let's go on the daily. So as you see here, obviously this whole move right here, that bullish run, was due to these fundamentals and coronavirus affecting, and influencing the market to scale into gold buys. But as you see, every time the news make a move in the market, yeah, unless you don't know, please try to remember this or write it down because you will make a lot of money if you remember this. Every time there is a big move in the market that was driven by the news or fundamentals, is the same thing, just whichever way is easier for you to remember. Uh, Essentially, once that move comes to an end, that impulse, the market starts making its way back to its regular price, right, from wherever that rally started. So for that same reason, uh, and the way I look at this structure is that it's failing to remain above 1580, right? So this is still daily resistance. It's failing to um, stay above 1580. The price is not being able to hold above that level. So therefore, I do expect this pair to uh, drop back down to this support, right, at 1552.86. So if you want, you can round it up 1553 or even 1555. So I am expecting to see gold come back down to uh, to its support, and uh, just looking at the USD pairs, they still have a bullish momentum in them. So yeah, I would be looking for the sells.
Hey, Alex, can you hear me clearly?
Hey, I cannot hear you, brother.
One second. How about
Can you try now?
right now I'm in the car driving, so I just try to use the have the car connected to the phone and stuff to hear what it is what's going on. So I'm not too sure if the mic will see better.
Got you. Yeah, I heard a lot of background noise, so it was really hard to hear you. But yeah,
Sorry about
no, you're fine. No, no worries. I mean, it's being recorded as well, so as soon as the meeting is done and it gets saved on my computer from the cloud, I'll put it in the Telegram as well, so you can
oh,
watch the entire thing if you want to. But I was just saying that I'm still looking for the sales on gold because the price is not able to remain above 1580, so that area still serves as a strong resistance, and I believe gold will make its way back down to 1555.
I entered a sell. I think I'm sent to earlier on around 15. 184, I think it was. It dropped about 100 and just over 100 pips.
Okay.
And then I think I re-entered again after because I couldn't reach at my entry point. So I'm just holding this to see if it dips again. I think at the London session, I'll wait to see around the London if it dips again.
Okay, got you. So did you close in profit your position or?
When I had it open this morning, and it reached about 100, I just keep moving the stop loss down a bit, so I did close them some profit. I didn't get the 100 because obviously I wanted to see if I made a bigger move downwards. So I gave it a little room and stuff like that. So I think I closed around 50 with this part. And then I entered again because I find that the momentum seems to be heading downward. So I just ended up going into another sell again.
Got you. Got you, yeah. I mean, as you see here, I don't know if you can see from the phone, but on the 4 hour, clearly the price came back under the that 1580 level, and it consolidated at that zone, showing that, there is no really strength and the buyers are not in control to keep pushing it back up. So I definitely believe this will, start falling. And I think we have NFP this week too. So let me double check. This is Wednesday. Yeah, we definitely do because I see ADP on Wednesday, so this should be NFP week.
Okay.
Oh yeah, this 100% is damn some major AUD news this week. Wow, it's crazy. So AUD is gonna either recover or they will, like, the country will fall apart completely. Yeah, non-farm payroll Friday. So I do expect it to be bullish for dollar as well. So that will, additionally help sell in the gold. So I do expect gold from this point right now to rest of the week to be sell. That's just
Right.
my opinion. I just expect straight sell for the rest of the week.
Okay. And then NFP expected to go back to bullish, you say, right?
To go back, sorry, what?
You say you expected to go bullish for NFP?
On USD, yeah. On USD, yeah. But I'm gonna do some more research because obviously, I take a look at that because that's a big opportunity because the liquidity is crazy. I mean, gold will move like easy 100 pips on Friday, like easy, if not 200-300. So.
And then you did get it correct with the last call in terms of the bullish momentum last time around. So
Yeah. I like trading news, and I recently start sharing when I do them because a lot of people ask me to do, and so I share my opinion. But like I tell everybody, news is high risk. So if you are risking money you cannot afford to lose, don't trade news. You see gold? Look, gold is starting actually to push back down now. Look at this 1 hour. Oh wow. Yeah, some cells are coming through. But anyway, unless there is some, I like to say, bullcrap again about this, like a trade deal, and unless they start talking, negative feedback about coronavirus again, I don't see gold going back up at all.
okay.
So I really don't. And I mean, that's the one thing, like a lot of people get confused with these news events, right? And they get scared away from the market. But the thing is, first of all, a lot of people don't even like understand what the coronavirus is. It's just a more aggressive type of cold, right? It's literally cold, just in different form that hasn't been, so known in a public. And it's a serious thing because if your immune system is not so strong, it can definitely beat you down. And most of those that cases which hopefully never happened, it was elderly and with the weaker immune system, and because they didn't get the treatment in time, and
Okay.
unfortunately they weren't able to fight it off. But it's literally called just more aggressive one that is not so known to the public. And yeah, but I mean that apparently yielded and guided a lot of bullish momentum in a gold. And that's one thing that like news can do, and fundamentals can just turn things around for the time being. But like I usually don't get concerned about the news, because I know that just make impulsive move, and eventually the price and structure corrects itself. It just takes a little time until the news settle down, obviously. So, and that's why risk management is major thing in the forex. If you over leverage, you blew account. If you don't over leverage, you can add another position at a better entry, and then as it's recovering, you still close in a good profit. So that is my take on that.
Yeah, you are correct. Because I mean, if you make a loss, even like say gold, and it's like a 40, 50 pips stop loss, you could easily make that about two trades, and and then continue to have a profitable day or week or month, whatever the case. So you are correct.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, you just have to, like, before, I mean, it's like investing is really like trading forex is literally like can be related to like a simple investment. So let's say you have X amount of money and you need a new laptop. So maybe you love Apple products and you really want to get the Apple, but you can still get a great HP for like less amount. So you like, let's say you will pay for a MacBook 2000, but you can buy great HP for 1000. So even though you like more MacBook and Apple products, that do you really need to have it? It's the same thing. When you're investing, like, do you really want to risk spending that another 1000 and not have any savings or money aside if anything god forbid happens? So it's the same thing here. Like, do you want to put your whole account at risk just so to hope that you won't have any drawdown and your trade will go straight in profit? That happens, but the thing is that that is not a good approach for a long term in forex, because it will not work. I keep telling people because I tried it, trust me. So, but anyway, I don't want to go too much into that. Just wanted to touch up on that for a second. But yeah, I would look for the sells in gold, honestly.
I'm heading out here. Well, still on the road, so probably you have to say when you upload it, because by the time I back home, you might have finished and stuff. So you keep in contact.
Sounds good. Yeah, as soon as we are done, unless they don't have any more pairs that they want me to take a look at, I'll definitely upload it as soon as it's done.
Okay, well, good man, thanks.
He said AUD CHF is doing some crazy stuff. What is it doing? I mean, what is it? What is it crazy? It fell down 12 pips. Look at the minute. Oh God. Here we go. Are you referring to this one right here? I mean, there's nothing crazy there. So this whole candle with the wick is 9 pips. Yeah, so that's another thing I wanna say now, Hans or Hans, sorry, like one more time if I don't pronounce it right. The way I trade, I'm not concerned with, you know, drawdown, because I know where like my safe stop loss would be and when I need to exit the trade. So if your trading style is a scalping, then the way I teach and the way I trade probably won't work for you. So I just want to give you a heads up, because like me personally, I would sometimes hold the trade like 150 pips drawdown, because I know it will turn around and I don't over leverage, so I can wait for it. And during that, let's say, um, let's use this. Let's use this for educational. So let's say I entered, there was a candle here, and excuse me, candle here. And let's say I entered the buy at the open of this candle, right? And now the next candle comes down, actually close same. This goes down, and even another one goes bearish, right? So let's say I'm in a drawdown of 50 pips right now. 50 pips, right? And for me, this doesn't mean anything, right? Because I look at the whole structure, right? I look what is going on. Maybe there was a news event that caused, you know, this stronger pullback, right? Maybe that's what happened. That still doesn't invalidate the trade, right? Because if I know that this is heading back to this resistance right here, what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add another entry right here. So now I have entry here and I have entry here. So when this starts going back up slowly, right? When it starts making its way back up, then I'm in profit both positions. Yeah, I needed to hold the drawdown, even if this was 150. So if this was 150 and we had a further fall here, I would enter another position at 100 and another one at 150. As long as I see there's no major breach of that, like the weekly trend line or the weekly demand zone or the weekly support. So now let's say I have 4 positions and I can have 15 because I don't over leverage, right? And now from here to here, I'm already up 50 pips. So here I'm already up 100, and on this 150, that's 150. Once it starts going here, now I have 3 entries and 1 break even, 3 in profit, 150, 100 pips, and 150 pips. So the first entry that was in a drawdown 50 pips, now it's break even, and the ones that I added here, they're in profit 300 pips. And I'm just back at the break even entry where I initially entered. And guess what? This is just gonna keep going up and up. And then when it gets to that resistance where it needs to go, when you add all this up, it's gonna be like 600 pips. And another thing, I never look 1 minute charts. This never. I don't scalp, and there's no reason for me to look at that, because like that won't change the overall structure. In order for you to know where the market is headed, you have to look on a bigger time frame, daily and weekly, so that you know where it's going. Because 1 minute chart will not tell you the trend, right? It will not tell you the trend. It will not tell you supply zone. It will not tell you the demand zone. It will not tell you where is the mainly weekly or daily SNR. So none of that you will not know if you are trading on the 1 minute chart. So what I'm trying to say is not to talk you out of scalping. If that is your style, by all means, I would love to be able to do that, but that is just takes way too much out of me. And I even have like automations for scalping and everything. Like I have so much, but I just don't scalp because I don't want to be looking nonstop at my screen. I want to have life too. You know what I mean? Like when I enter my trade, I enter my trade, and whatever happens, I'm fine with it. You know, obviously, I'm not entering trade just to trade. I'm entering good setup and something that I see high possibility that will, be a return on my investment. You know, and when I enter something, I'm very confident, and I just let it ride. So maybe this took 2 weeks, this drawdown, but then third week we started going back up, and then over the next 3-4 weeks we closed 600 pips, what initially was 300 pip drawdown, because you trusted the analysis and you knew where the market was headed. And that is the power of having patience and understanding where the price is headed on a higher time frame. So that is all I'm trying to say. So I don't want you to receive my message wrong. Whatever works for you, do not change it. Just do your thing. But like I said, I don't mean to do that. So like I said, this honestly I prefer. So I'm gonna give you this one tip, right? It's also really really important. So write it down. So if I'm looking to trade these news right here, not here. This is Friday. So these ones in 2 hours and 16 minutes. What I like to see pre-market, if I'm looking for this to be bullish, I do like to see some bearish momentum. Why? Because just think of it logically. They probably want to get you into thinking that this is just going to keep dropping, dropping, dropping. So if that was that easy, then we would all be making a lot of money. I would enter this with 200 lots right now if that was the case, right? But that's not how it works. Usually they're trying to get you to have that like a retail mentality, to just go with the emotion. You're gonna look at this and you are like, oh, news are coming up and this is still bearish. So news will probably just make it fall even further down. No, no, it won't. I actually prefer to see, if I'm looking to a buy, I prefer to see bearish, uh, you know, uh, candlestick before the news release. Because in the most, like 8 out of the 10 times, if the prior candlestick is bearish, you see the bullish reaction off of the news. And that is just the way interpreting news, besides the fact that we are in the weekly demand zone, and then I'm looking for this pair to recover, because I just don't know how much further AUD can take a beating as an economy and as just in general. Like, they need to do something to rebound their economy, to regain some um, strength against other currencies in the forex. So that's on that. Thank you. I understand. Thank you for the explanation. This is good info. You're very welcome. So, like I said, I don't want you to, take a message wrong. I'm not talking out of anything. I'm just sharing my experience, and what I tested, what worked for me. I used to scalp, so it's just not my style. So if that's one thing you have to figure out first. So if you work from home, then you probably have a lot of time to be at the chart, and you are willing to be at the screen for majority of the day. Therefore you can consider being a scalper. Go in, grab few pips, get out. Wait for it, go in, get few pips, get out. It's just not my style. Like, I don't want to be glued to a computer. If you're an intraday trader, then maybe you get up for the London session from, for 2-3 hours, try to catch the move there. Maybe you like New York session. Let's say you work overnights, you come home, you eat a little bit, take a shower, whatever you do, 9 a.m. Eastern time, New York opens, it's time for you to trade for, 2-3 hours. So, it just like you have to find a blend of, your personal life commitments and what style suits you the best, so that you can, maximize. Because you do want to make sure that you also, you know have time for other things, uh, you know so that is, like I said, just my opinion. uh Good stuff right there. Oh, thank you. So yep. um so let me know, guys, if you have any other pair you want to take a look at. But like I said, this will make the move, the news in 2 hours and 10 minutes. Um this will be a nice move. Last three times they kept the rate at 75. So I do expect them to keep it. Um, possibly increase it. They just they gotta come out with something to show some recovery. Like, I'll be really surprised if it will be a bearish outcome. I really would be surprised. So USD ZAR and Euro NZD, got it. And what do you think about trading after 12? Are you referring after 12 like midnight, or 12 as a noon? Noon. Um, so okay, so that's actually a great question, because I have few things to tell you about that, and then we're gonna get in USD ZAR and Euro NZD. So I have came across few people who actually like to trade exactly from like noon to 2 p.m. And their reasoning for that is that they say that they notice that there is not so much like fake out moves in that period, like in that 2 hour span, and that usually whatever move happens in particular in particular pair throughout the New York session, meaning between 9 a.m. and noon, they are looking most likely for the reversal. So let's say USD JPY went up 60 pips from 9 to noon, right? From 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. And now noon comes. What they look for is they're looking for a retrace, right? So that would be anywhere like 20 to 30 pips. It's also known as a noon reversals, right? I don't know if you ever heard that from somebody or came across, read it anywhere, but that is actually the thing. Like, it's not just, fantasy, because I actually followed that through before, and I was just trying to check it out for myself. And just because, I try to learn as much as I can. And I did notice that too. If there was a decent move like on GU, on UJ, on USD CAD, in that span of 3 hours, usually, right at the noon, and actually from noon to, like 12:30 or 1 p.m., you do see, retrace or pullback from that initial move. Now, that doesn't happen all the time, and you would have to follow that. So if that was what you were asking for, um, liquidity slows down. That's another thing, definitely. So from noon to 2 p.m., you're not gonna see like 100 pip move on any pair unless there's a news, unless there is FOMC, coming up at 2 p.m., or whatever it might be. president's tweet came out, and obviously, market will have reaction. But in the regular market conditions, liquidity will slow down, and you will most likely see some pullback and retrace from the initial moves during the New York session. So if that is the time that you are available and you would want to trade, you certainly could, because you do have enough liquidity to grab some pips, but don't expect to grab like 50 plus. So I just want you to also have realistic expectation. And USD SAR, Euro NZD, here we come. Let me just see if I have USD SAR here already. No, I have USD SGD. Okay, so we need USD SAR. Yes, yeah, definitely. So you really have to figure out what style suits you, right? Obviously, signals are always gonna be there, as long as, God willing, we are alive, we will, do our best. But, really, I always tell people, uh, you know, some some just join for strictly with the motive to, make money. And I'm not gonna, disagree with them. But the thing is, like, hey, what's up, Aaron? How's it going? Uh, but the really thing that you should focus on is learning how to trade. And in order to do that, before you can do that, you should sit down and think through, okay, so this is my, let's say you have a job, right? So you have to figure out, do you have consistent schedule, meaning with your job 9 to 5, Monday through Friday, for the whole year? If that is the case, then you gotta figure out, am I able to, check the charts, first few hours of my, while I'm at work? If yes, if the answer is yes, then maybe you can trade some New York session. If the answer is no, maybe after 5 p.m. Uh, when you head home, you will try to avoid going for those happy hours, so that you can get in the bed at a reasonable time and get up for the London session, because New York is not just working with you because of your job commitment. If you work overnight, then New York would work for you, even Asian. So it really depends the job you have, when you work. Do you have rotating schedules, meaning you are not always on the same shift throughout the whole month and the year? So you just have to figure that out. You got to sit down and write everything and see what will fit you the most. That's funny, Dylan. It really made me cough and laugh at the same time. That's funny. Um, so yeah, really, that's what I would say about it. Yeah, I probably sound like a robot because my sinuses are bothering me, so I'm kind of talking through my nose. So I'm sorry about that. And let's take a look here. AUD USD, we just recently checked. It should be a great buy, because break and retest of the downtrend, and it's in a daily demand zone. So it's really great setup with the buy, and I recommended them 40 pips stop loss with 240 pips target TP. That's great. Yeah, I do expect AUD bullish. There we go, my man. Aaron, I'll go back to USD JPY. Let me just check USD ZAR and Euro NZD. So this is still valid. weekly uptrend. Let me see who requested USDs are. Oh, it was you, VD. Okay. So actually, this looks like it had attempt to break this weekly bullish trend line. It was not successful, as you see. The market came right back up, and it looks like it's headed back to this zone right here, to this strong resistance and also supply zone, right? Supply zone is where you're gonna see interest of sellers, because simply as the market saying goes, you wanna sell high and buy low. So selling high meaning when the price enters the supply zone, you look for the sells, and buying is off of the demand zone when price is low. So this I honestly don't see anything in a way here. So this is headed back to 15.49. Seems like you might get smaller pullback here because this was a wild last week, strong bullish momentum. So you might see a small pullback here to test this. Let's see, where is this daily support? Okay. So it might be a pullback to 1478, and then from there I would honestly expect this to continue back up. And if, as previous USD pairs that we went over, we expect a strong dollar, so this would make sense from that standpoint as well. So this retrace may have came to an end as well, so just watch it so that you can catch this move back to 1549. GJ should still fall, bro. So GJ and USD JPY that Aaron asked, I have them. So let's see what's first, USD JPY here. So this is what I need. Essentially, I see another leg down on USD JPY for, I think it was 65 to 90. Yeah, so 65 to 90 pips to go back to this demand zone, and then I see it going back up for a buy for 200 pips. So and similar to that, there's GJ. I expect, so I do expect the retrace. There's on a 4-hour. There's a potential for this to come down another. What is that? Actually, this fell while we were talking, so maybe another 20 pips, and then I would expect some retrace on this, right? I don't think it will make sense to be just straight shot down, but I do expect this retrace back to 50 at 142, and then before actually we go back to a longer term buy, I would want to see conclude this extension to 1618, and also test of this weekly support and the weekly uptrend, this trend line, and this would be a great buy at 139,400 for GJ. So another leg down on UJ and GJ, and then it's gonna be a longer term buy. I don't know if you guys see the same. David Santana, it is weak. It is weak right now, but I'm anticipating that they're gonna actually do something about it because it's been weak for 2 years. Oh God, go ahead. Do the same. Just do the same. No, I know you're kidding. That's why you get the answer like that. Why do I think AUD is weak? I mean, have you looked at any AUD pair? Like, for example, this one that we are waiting for the reversal. Look, so most of the AUD pairs are at the historical lows. So AUD CHF, you see, it's currently like new historical low, but it's still in this weekly demand zone. So I'm expecting that they do something about it, and it's been long due to reversal. Actually, Kyle, I see US 30 rising to 28,900 again. True, but last winter it was. Yeah, Isai, I'm sorry. We are getting to Euro NZD now. I'm sorry. Kyle, I'm not gonna trade it, so you have to calculate your stop loss. US 30, just real quick. So if you enter now, I mean, you see it's already going back up. I would put it underneath uh, this low on 1 hour. That's what I would do if I was entering it. But it's headed back up. So I mean, I'm pretty sure about that. Euro NZD. What is going on here? I haven't checked this in a minute actually. So we're gonna have to see. We need to find some resistance here. And let's find the daily. Okay, this looks like it's hitting daily already. Let's go back to candlestick. Yep. All right, let's see now. Well, this is right at the daily resistance. What was Isai? I'm sorry if I don't pronounce that right. Actually, it's pretty high. It's pretty high, bro. Um, it would have to close above 1.71375, and then even though if that happens, it has oh, I mean actually has 180 pips to weekly resistance. So it's definitely possible, but I do want to see at least some retrace on this. So we had this wild move. So I would like to see at least this 38.2 here. So, and that would be 140 pips. So I would like to see that, and then yeah, from there I do agree. We're gonna, um, accumulate more buys and probably go to the weekly resistance this time. So as long as the price remains under 1.71400, I think we will get this retrace back down on Euro NZD, because this was a wild move. So I do expect to see some recovery. Damn, that was 490 pips move. Especially one hint why I like to trade, correlation, EN and GN. So what happened today is that GN fell 300 pips and EN went up 300 pips. So they're both due to, retracement. So even though if it's only 38.2, this would be 140 pips on each of them. It's just that this time there's a contradiction because they're going opposite ways. Usually, they move in the same direction, like 95% of the time. Okay, no problem. You're welcome. So just watch for it. Let's see on a smaller time frame. 4 hour. So made one low and now seems like it's rejecting. It's rejecting that resistance. So looks like it's gonna be, decent retrace on this. Even if it's only up to here, it's 105 pips still. Yeah, look at the current 1 hour candle. Just strong bearish momentum kicking in. But yeah, let me show AUD USD right here. Let me just see if he's still here. Okay, so see here, Dils, what I was trying to say. This long-term bearish trend line, once it broke, it retested, went back into the weekly resistance, and now it came back to retest it, and also it's in a daily demand zone. So it's a really good risk to reward trade. So I do like AUD for a buy. I was actually thinking about calling it on annual. Yeah, probably it's a similar structure, AU and NU. So I'll check that now. But yeah, this looks like a really good setup for a buy. NZD USD. Oh, right here. Oh, actually, let's take a look here. Okay. This one does need to at least go up 40 pips, but that would be a retest of this daily resistance. So unlike AU, that is just due to major bullish reversal, NU, we would have to see if it's gonna break 64,950 or 65 to round it up. If that happens, then yeah, we can keep riding it for another 100 plus pips. So 4 hour right now. Hold on. What is this? There we go. So 4 hour, yeah, it's a lot of vectoring here. I agree. A lot of vectoring. Price rejecting to go further down. So, like I said, I definitely expect to see 40 pips to at least test this, but possibly based on the NZD strength, we might see, a bigger increase. 1 hour, you said? Yeah, just consolidating. In current 1 hour candle, yeah, it is showing bullish momentum. So uh, your entry really nice. Getting ready to get them pounds lined up in a bands. Elliott 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, so you expect ABC moved back to the upside on it as well. Is that what you're trading to? Got you. Yeah, makes sense. No, I agree. I agree with this. Um, so it's a good AU and NU. I just hope AUD does not disappoint again, because they really have to do something about their economy. They definitely not gonna cut this rate. Like it does not make any sense to cut this. And I'm not sure if they are ready to increase it back to 1. So they most likely will keep it at 0.75, which still should result in bullish move in AUD pairs. So that is honestly what I see on this. And then depending what statement they read out, that too can be a driver in the market. So we will find out in 1 hour and 47 minutes. Yeah, they did indeed need. They really do. They gotta figure it out. Like KFD has been really beaten in the market for 2 years now. So you ain't lying, bro. They certainly need to figure something out. Their central bank, GBP jumps back strong. You talking about right now, or let me see. From lows, check weekly. Just delete this. Yeah, it's almost at the weekly demand zone. Right here, brother. This is what we're waiting for. Weekly demand zone, support, and the weekly trend line. So we can go, we gotta complete this move. This is one thing. Like, we gotta complete this move back to 148.60. Because even though this spike was there, but this wick has to be covered, and that will be done by this move back to the upside to test that weekly resistance as well. So I'm waiting for that pullback to enter. From 126. Oh, are you talking about GU? Or GU, I'm honestly I'm waiting for it to come to this 1.28. I'll definitely be buying there. I'm interested in that one for sure. So just gotta be a little patient, wait for the setup, and once it sets up, you get a few hundred pips out of it. I have way too many lines here. Yeah, that is actually that is, but there's not much news this week. It's mainly AUD and USD. So tomorrow NZD actually has major news. 4:45 p.m. Eastern Time, 10:45 Central European, and I think it's 9:45 UK time, or it's actually 10:45 UK too. NZD big news tomorrow. Again, AUD, their governor speaks. Uh, February 5th, Wednesday, we have Euro President, European Central Bank. She's gonna has a speech. Big USD, ADP employment change, and then again AUD at night. Thursday, more Euro and AUD news again. So it's really heavy week for AUD, and then Friday NFP, obviously CAD and USD. So really a lot of red folders for AUD, and this should really be the week where they actually do something about their economy, because they're gonna either try to make it or they're just gonna break it for good. um, which one, Dils? Life's good, man. Life's good. I just been having um like a cold, and then now my sinuses bother me. But other than that, I've been good, bro. Thanks. I hope everything been going well with you too. Uh, so that's good. Yeah, that's good, brother. You already know you're smart. Try to stay out of trouble. I know. I know your story, kind of coming from the same surroundings. So seen a lot, witnessed a lot, and just try to stay away from trouble and enjoy life. Yeah, I do plan. Um, I wanted to move out to Germany, but that has changed. So actually, UK is in on a list, let's say. UK's too, because actually one of my really good friends, he moved there too from Switzerland. So he moved to London. Uh, Sweden is actually really good. Yeah, yeah, I heard a lot good thing. I actually have my elementary school friend. She actually went there after high school, and she became a lawyer too. So she lives and works there, and she says, it's a really good standard over there in Sweden. So I mean, I would certainly like to go, visit, but I don't know for living. So yeah, I heard all those like northern countries, like Sweden, Denmark, Norway, that they actually have a really strong economy. And they've been doing quite well. Especially, I heard about Norway. I read somewhere that like either last year or a year prior, they were like top five economies in the world. I mean, as far as like the life standard and life quality. Oh, okay. So you heard about it too. Got you. Yeah. Yeah, I read somewhere there was some economical article. I cannot remember where, but I remember reading that. Um, I mean, if you think about it, just looking like at the history, they really haven't had any wars in a long time. You know, I guess hundreds years ago they were like Vikings over there, but like in no recent time they've been exposed to any wars. So they didn't had like a large expenses in that way. They just keep reinvesting in the country, and you know, um, essentially they got it good, according to the reports. I might shift Germany or Sweden. I mean, oh really? Is it? I didn't knew that. Um, think about Switzerland too. Honestly, I think you might like it. Um, between Germany or Sweden, I think you will like more in Germany. I definitely do, but just because they're more like our mindset. They like to enjoy life too. Drink party and stuff like that. Sai wrote me a private message. Okay, I'm gonna type it out for you, man. Uh, strict risk management. I just responded to you, Isai, or Isaiah. Sorry if I don't pronounce that right. Um, and what's going on in London, Deals? Is it because of the whole Brexit thing, or just in general? Okay, I got you. Yeah, I mean, Italy is beautiful too. Like a lot of, beautiful cities there too. Um, I mean, Spain is nice also. It just like, you gotta kind of check it out, go visit and see the vibe you get, and um, which language you might consider learning the most among them. Because obviously it helps you know the language that is primarily spoken in that certain country. But I mean, Germany is nice. I have actually a lot of friends that live in Germany, and they work in like medical field. A lot of them, from the high school. All right, guys. Do we have any other pair you would like to take a look, or we should conclude this? and see what this AD news do in hour and 30 few minutes. I have a question here. USD CAD. I think we went over it. Yeah, so hold on. Okay, yeah. So I do expect to see this pullback, bro, to 1.32660. But I definitely see it, going to complete this move to 1.33500 to this daily resistance. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's a pullback for about 25 pips more, and then this buy from here for about 85 pips to go back to this resistance. So that's what I honestly see on USD CAD, because it's looking pretty bullish. So I believe it will conclude this move up. Uh, so, oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks for stopping by, bro. Definitely. Always glad to see you, and definitely glad everything is going well. I'm sure we're gonna chat in Telegram as usual. All right. If that is all, guys, then I'm gonna conclude the meeting. And hold on, we have a message. So I Isai or Isai, sorry once again if I don't pronounce right. So the LMFX has a higher leverage, right? So essentially, what leverage will allow you to do is, if you are willing to, which I do not recommend, is taking bigger risks, meaning over leveraging. So the higher leverage you have, the bigger lot size you can use. Um, but with that being said, that means you would not follow the proper risk management. So that is one thing that higher leverage serves. But the main purpose that you want to utilize with the higher leverage is that you want to be, still minimizing your risks. Meaning, if you have $500, you want to do 0.05, but instead of being able to only do one position, higher leverage will allow you to use maybe two three positions with that lot size, if you wanted to. So that is a big difference between like forex.com or oanda, which are US regulated brokers that only have 1 to 50 leverage, as compared to let's say in this case LMFX that offers higher leverage. And you can pick from, I think the lowest that they offer is 1 to 300. So That's pretty much it.
All right. Hey, what's up, man? Yeah, this is it's Isai, bro. I've
Isai. Oh, okay.
yeah, Isai, yeah. I've been
Isai.
following you since like back in December, man. And I've just been learning and like just like observing and studying, like researching extensively. And I was gonna buy your packages today with K2 Trades because I really wanted to start my account today. And I have $3,000 set to the side, but like I blew my account 2 times only because on a demo account only because I forgot to set stop losses.
Hmm.
But ever since, I've always been getting profits almost every day. Like I've like the my demo accounts kept getting bigger and bigger, so I wanted to start with 800, because I have 3,000 saved for trading, but I want to just start with 800 and kind of just avoid. I know it's not recommended, like the risk management. I wouldn't be following the risk management plan, but I was planning to use like half a lot size.
Okay.
Yeah, and try to get my account, just grow my account a little bit bigger, following your guys's, your signals. And I've been learning some as well. So I've been, I just wanted to start with the right broker. And my demo account, I had leverage 1 to 500. So I
Okay.
was wondering if that's like the good, just kind of for now, just to take the risk.
So, if that is something that you want to do, like you said, then I would recommend opening with LMFX. So, in order to open account with them, you will obviously need like two forms of ID to scan to like the verify once you initially request opening of live account. And if for your deposit type, like let's say you want to deposit via your debit card, you will have to kind of send us like a selfie of you holding your debit card, because they are really down to that security. They want to make sure that actually person using debit card is them. So there's no fraud. Like, it's not like tomorrow you go there and say, hey, somebody used my debit card to deposit in their LMFX, and they will be like, oh, okay, let me pull up the picture that you sent us. Is this you holding your debit card? So that's essentially the way that they work. But obviously there's multiple deposit types. So you can do wire transfer, you can do debit credit card. They have some others as well. So it's just whichever one you prefer. But to add on, you wanting to open 800 and using half lot. So if you plan to do that, I don't recommend that you follow my price action trades. I would only suggest you that you watch for trades that Sean and Aaron call out, because they look for like a one-to-one risk reward with a smaller stop loss. So the stop loss usually that they have is no more than 20-30 pips, and you're targeting the same amount in profit. So even if you do half lot on 800 account, you wouldn't blow it just off of that one trade, even if it was the first trade that is losing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so you and Sean, and that's also on the price action or on the K2 trade alerts on Telegram.
So it will be K2. Here is it. Let me know if you can see my Telegram here.
Okay.
Can you see my Telegram on the screen?
Yeah, I see.
Okay, so if you buy just the signals, K2 signals, which is $50 a month, you will
Yeah.
be added here to the K2 Trade Premium signals. So this
Okay.
is where, as you see, they send. When was this? Was this was yeah, this was today. So this was AUDJPY, right? So they will send you everything. So the entry was there, and stop loss was actually 25 pips, but you have three take profits, right?
Right.
So they really show you everything, and there's the chart of the setup. So as you see, it's only 25 pips stop loss, and let's just say that that ended up being losing one at the half lot, you would only lose $125. you
Okay.
know I mean, it's not only, it's still more than like 12% of the account, but
You're right.
as you are willing to take that risk, you know, you wouldn't like blow your account completely.
Okay.
Yeah. And with the price action, I look more towards like the swing trading, uh, and target, you know, higher pips. So there's a possible drawdown. And if you are over leveraging on those trades, you know, it will, you know, sometimes can, you know, uh, get close to taking you out of the trades because it will eat up your margin, the drawdown. That's why, you know, I recommend proper risk management and just in general.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I just wanted to take a small risk just to grow my account a little bit because I see a lot of the times. I mean, I know the market's been a little funky this past week and all this virus or whatever. But I just want to grow it a little bit, and then I was gonna go back to the risk management. Just wanted to test the waters with 800, test the luck. But okay, and then for the LM FX, I could use, like, if I have driver's license and ID, I could use those two for forms of ID.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay,
That's
okay,
what I use. I use driver's license and something else. I think I use my government ID for it too.
okay,
Yeah. So I
okay.
mean,
That's
you might even need only one. So I forgot I opened an account a little while ago with them. So I don't know if they changed it, but just expect one or two forms of ID that they will or it might be like ID and let's say some bill with your address, right? With your like a billing address. Maybe it's a medical bill, maybe it's the utility, just something that shows your name with the same address that you're providing as your billing address. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just lmfx.com. Is that the website where I go to?
Yeah. So let's see, LMFX. Okay, right here. Okay, so I'm gonna
Okay, awesome.
put this in a chat for you so you see they have live chat immediately. It just pops out. So
Oh,
if,
okay,
if there's
perfect.
anything that is confusing. Hence
Awesome.
ask, can you do LMFX if you're in the USA? Yes, you can. I'm using LMFX and I live on East Coast. And I know a lot of people are a little bit skeptical because it's not like US regulated. But the thing is, they've been very trustworthy, and I know few people who have accounts with them, and they have seven-figure accounts with them.
Okay, that's awesome, man. Thanks, bro.
No problem. You're welcome. Great questions, by the way. Great questions.
Perfect, man. Thanks. I'm gonna get set up with the K2 trade signals and too. And you said look out for yours and Sean's, right?
So for the specifically K2, it would be Sean and Aaron. So
Okay.
if Sean share, like you see, this was Aaron. It says right here, the
Yeah.
underneath. Um, Aaron. So when it says K2 trades only, that's Sean.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you
Cool.
will
Cool.
be
Cool.
able to know. And my signals, everything is still free. Whatever trade I enter, I'm gonna share here.
Okay. That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Perfect, bro. Thank you so much, man.
No problem. You're welcome.
All right, man. You have a good night, man.
All right, you too, and we'll talk soon.
Perfect. Cool.
So there was a question. Yeah. So yeah, Ben got it too. Yep. Yeah, I have LMFX as well. So I have forex.com and LMFX. But also the another regulated US broker and trustworthy is Oanda. How much can I leverage with LMFX if I have PFK? You can leverage quite a lot, actually. But with that account size, I would not recommend going more than half lot. just so you, and if you're, so this is another thing, like this is the example, right? Let's clear this up. Can you work with me? Thank you. So let's clear this up. Hugo's Way, mixed reviews. I actually had my main account with Hugo's Way, and I switched it to LMFX because of some shady stuff. But I don't honestly want to go into that because some people, it's been great for them. For some, it's not been so great experience with Hugo's Way. So that's all I'm gonna say. I had a good experience, but there were a few things that been going on that made me actually move my money out of their brokerage account. So that's all I'm gonna say. And if you ask me to tell you which one I prefer, Hugo's or LMFX, definitely LMFX. So nothing against Hugo's, just personal preference. So question was, who was this? This was Hans or Hans, sorry. So example, 5K account, right? So usually what you wanna do, you wanna try to have a self-discipline and enter no more than 2 to 3 trades, right? That's what you try to do. So for the 5K account, proper risk management, meaning 0.001, I messed that up, great. So proper risk management is 0.01 lot per $100 in trading account. That is proper risk management, right? So with the 5K, you have 50 times this, so that means 0.50. Okay, so this is the proper lot size with this account, right? Let's round that up. But this is the catch, right? So this is if you are entering only one trade, right? One trade. Sorry, this is freehand drawing and I'm really not artistic, so bear with me. So if you do decide to follow this and enter 2 to 3 trades, now this lot size of half lot or 50 cents or $5 per pip, whichever way you want to remember, has to be divided by 2 to 3, depending how many trades you take. So if you take 2 trades, right, that means you should be using 0.25 on each of those trades, each of those entries. If you are planning to open 3 trades, then 50 divided by 3 is roughly 0.17 cents or $1.70 per pip. So if you follow this here, this is proper risk management. Proper risk management is not entering all 3 trades with the half lot. Why? Because 3 times half is 1.5. And 1.5 is $15 per pip. So if your stop loss is 50 pips, you're risking $750 from your account. right? You're risking 750 if your stop loss is 50 pips from here. And that is 100. Well, let me just calculate. So divided by 20, that's 250. 3. Hold on. So that means you're risking 6%. No, divided by 20. Okay, so you are risking 15% of your account, right? If you do this, and recommended risk is 2 to 3%, no more than that. So that's why you should really be following this right here. This right here. Does that make sense? Let me know if I need to repeat this, if you understood or you misunderstood. Hence, are you with me? And this is just example for everybody in general, you know, for proper risk management. So how does 1 to 1000 versus 150 work? Okay, so the way that 1 to 1000 works, come on, no, anyway, let's delete this so we can make it more presentable. So 1, okay, so the way 1 to 1000 works as compared to 1 to 50 is this. So 1 to 1000, right, will allow you to do this, right? This is what 1 to 1000 will allow you to do. Actually, it will allow you on 5K account, it will allow you to open a single trade at like 5 lots. This is what will 1 to 1000 leverage allow you to do. Because what leverage is in simple English, or just the simple explanation is, you are leveraging higher amount of money to be able to generate bigger return, right? That doesn't mean that the LMFX will allow you to now go into loss that will end up more than 5,000. As soon as this trade comes close to the margin call, meaning that the broker has that safety, it will close you out. Like it will automatically shut down this account. It will not allow it to go in the negative more than 5K, because uh, that's that's just what they do. Like they will not prevent bigger loss than what you actually have, right? So they have uh, safety like a margin call that will just close it out if you decide to do something like this. However, if you enter the trade at the 5 lot and it goes straight into the profit, then you're gonna make a lot of money, especially if it's like, let's say, 50 pip move, which is not major, times 50, that's 2,500. So that is what 1 to 1,000 will allow you to do. Kind of like sword with the two edges, right? So here, 1 to 50 with the forex.com or OANDA, whichever one you prefer, right? You cannot open trade more than, let's say you have 5K. So I don't think, even if you open a single trade, right? Even if you open a single trade, I don't think you can use more than 0.20 cents. And also you have to understand, with the Forex regulated brokers like forex.com and OANDA, entering currencies like GBP, they cost more, meaning they fill up your margin faster. Once your margin gets filled up to 100%, your trade will be closed and you won't be able to open any trades until that one is closed out. So that is what this smaller margin is. It serves as a safety. It serves as implementing a good trading habits and investments, not going crazy, not going greedy, because this small leverage will fill up your margin much faster, and your trade will end up being closed much sooner. So that is the major difference between the leverage. Does that make sense? Because that answer doesn't tell me you're confident. Anyway, even if this is still confusing to you, I would recommend you will be great off doing it, is, I'm gonna write it with the big letters right here. Use and that's it. If you do this, you don't have to worry about over leverage. You don't have to worry about holding your trade long enough so that you can close in profit, and be patient for that reversal. Um, and that's the reason why I recommend that. All right, you're welcome. All right, we actually went for 2.5 hours, so I'm gonna have to, fortunately conclude it now because I got some preparations to do too for tomorrow's day. And I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's session. And like I said, once it's saved on my computer, I'm gonna upload it in the K2 Price Action channel, which is this one right here. And you'll be able to watch it at your own convenient time if you wish to. So yeah, and thank you guys for joining and staying till the end. Tells me you're committed, and I hope to see you with some great profits and successful stories. No problem. You're very welcome, guys. And I'll talk to you in the chat.